the Trevor Jackson Podcast.
My all-time top 5 dead or alive.
What's good? What's good? I wanted to do something that the family was familiar with, but I wanted to create a new show. Season 1, Episode 1, the Top 5 Show. I'm going to have discussions about things that I perceive to be the best, the 5 best of whatever genre, whatever sport, team, athlete. 5 of the greatest of the great. And this is most impactful speeches. Y'all know I like podcasts. I like TED Talks. I like audio form books. I like hearing people say impactful things that can alter your mind and alter your thoughts. And I decided to do a show, my first episode, Most Impactful Speeches. Now, it could be from an athlete who spoke about something that was motivational or encouraging. It could be from a former president during trying times that said something that was profound, that kept the country together. It could be from a leader or someone in a financial realm or any space. Everybody has something that could be said that could impact you. Now we're going to start off with my 5th impactful speech of all time, and I'm going to give y'all my perspective on it.
Thank you all. I want you all to know, we can't go any louder. I want you all to know that America today is on bended knee in prayer for the people whose lives were lost here, for the workers who work here, for the families who mourn. This nation stands with the good people of New York City and New Jersey and Connecticut as we mourn the loss of thousands of our citizens. I can hear you. I can hear you. The rest of the world hears you. And the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon. The nation sends its love and compassion.
God bless America!
To everybody who is here. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for making the nation proud. And may God bless America.
You got to think about it. During that time, everybody's hearts was heavy. 2,000 people just lost their life. This is basically a history lesson, the most impactful speeches. I was 21 at that time. I was going to my business that I had owned, a car wash on Sutherland Avenue in Knoxville, Tennessee. And I remember when I got there and I turned the news on, and the news was showing that. Didn't nobody show up to my car wash that day. Everybody was impacted by that. And I couldn't wait to hear the leader of the free world spoke. And when he spoke to me at that time, being young, it gave me confirmation that everything was going to be all right. I met up with a couple of partners and people that I knew that was in the military, older guys too. And they said, "We ready to go. We got to go to war. We got to do something about this. And I talked about it on a previous podcast that's what got us into the recession and everything, though. But I didn't mind it at that time, because to protect the country from something ever happening like that again, I ain't care about, no money or financial structure and all of that old type of stuff at that time. We wanted to be protected. We didn't want something like that to happen again. And that speech impacted me as a young boy. And that was 5. That was number 5 of most impactful speeches. So y'all know I got some dope ones, man. But we about to go with number 4. Let's do it.
My conscience won't let me go shoot my brother or some darker people or some poor, hungry people in the mud for big, powerful America and shoot them for what? They never called me nigger. They never lynched me. They never put no dogs on me. They never robbed me of my nationality, raped and killed my mother and father. What, I'm going to shoot them for what? How am I going to shoot them? Them little poor little black people, little babies and children and women. How can I shoot them poor people? Just take me to jail.
Ali more than held his own against students who had a far better formal education than he.
I'm saying you talking about me about some draft, and all of you white boys are breaking your neck to get to Switzerland and Canada and London. I'm not going to help nobody get something my Negroes don't have. If I'm going to die, I'll die now, right here fighting you. If I'm going to die, you my enemy. My enemy is the white people, not Viet Congs or Chinese or Japanese. You my opposer when I want freedom. You my opposer when I want justice. You my opposer when I want equality. You won't even stand up for me in America for my religious beliefs, and you want me to go somewhere and fight, but you won't even stand up for me here at home.
I'm not a Muslim. I'm not a religious individual, but I wasn't alive when that took place. I was far from being born. But when I got older and I heard that speech and I seen what was going on around me, I seen people come home, and I still see it today. Military people come home and struggle. And even though it's a choice, you got to hold yourself accountable first for your actions, the reason why you're at where you're at. But when I seen people like go to the military and come back and they wasn't doing well, it affected me. When I seen black people, I heard the stories about the Tuskegee Airmen and how they was treated, and they got the worst planes and the worst guns and all of that type of stuff, but they went to fight for a country that they were slaves at when they was here. And the opportunities was far and few for people that look like us. I was like, man, why? I didn't understand the logic of fighting for the country. But as I get older, I appreciate the United States of America. I appreciate it more. I appreciate it a lot more. I appreciate the systems that's in place. Because if you want to be successful in a place, you got to embrace the systems. If you don't want to embrace the systems that's in place that makes people successful here, then you need to leave. But that's another story. But that was a real powerful speech to me growing up as a young boy. And I heard that probably in 89 and 90, even though it happened in the 70s. But we're going on to number 3, man. And number 3 is a powerful one also. It's a real powerful one.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. President, members of the Congress, I speak tonight for the dignity of man and the destiny of democracy. I urge every member of both parties, Americans of all religions and of all colors, from every section of this country, to join me in that cause. At times, history and fate meet at a single time, in a single place, to shape a turning point in man's unending search for freedom. So it was at Lexington and Concord. So it was a century ago at Appomattox. So it was last week in Selma, Alabama. There, long-suffering men and women peacefully protested the denial of their rights as Americans. Many were brutally assaulted. One good man, a man of God, was killed. There is no cause for pride in what has happened in Selma. There is no cause for self-satisfaction in the long denial of equal rights of millions of Americans. But there is cause for hope and for faith in our democracy and what is happening here tonight.
Now, and I have that whole speech. My father had to take a drink. That Simply Lemonade got me burping a little bit. I ain't used to carbonated drinks. But that whole speech will be in the description at the bottom of this podcast, because I think me playing a snippet of the speech, you don't get the whole gist of it. But I had to play it because it's impactful to me, because I study presidencies, me personally. Lyndon B. Johnson, JFK, Obama, Trump. Who else I studied? George W. Bush, Bill Clinton. And he dealt with a lot during his presidency in the 60s. You heard him speak about Selma in Alabama and people dying, and he didn't call them African Americans. He didn't call them Africans. He didn't call them niggas. He didn't call them colored people. He called them Americans in Alabama. Millions of Americans, what they have to deal with in Alabama. And I'm not the type of person that, based off of what happened or my perspective, if I liked them or disliked them, I'm going off what the person did. He was dealing with the Vietnam War at the time. It's laws being passed today. The education law, I forgot the name of it. What is it? Help me out, y'all, in the comment section. That's getting took off the board. But he passed laws that help make substantial changes to the civil rights movement during his presidency. He had to deal with the Vietnam War. So those times are prolific in American culture and in our life here, and they mean something. So I suggest y'all go down to that description and listen to the rest of it and check it out, man. But we're going on to number 2, most impactful on me. It's the first top 5, man. Hit the like, man. Hit the like. Y'all want part 2. It's coming. Here it go, number 2.
So as you can see, brothers and sisters, today, this afternoon, it's not our intention to discuss religion. We're going to forget religion. If we bring up religion, we'll be in an argument. And the best way to keep away from arguments and differences, as I said earlier, put your religion at home, in the closet. Keep it between you and your God. Because if it hasn't done anything more for you than it has, you need to forget it anyway. Whether you are a Christian or a Muslim or a nationalist, we all have the same problem. They don't hang you because you're a Baptist, they hang you because you're black. They don't attack me because I'm a Muslim, they attack me because I'm black. They attack all of us for the same reason. All of us catch hell from the same enemy. We're all in the same bag, in the same boat. We suffer political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation. All of them from the same enemy. The government has failed us. You can't deny that. Anytime you live in the 20th century, 1964, and you walking around here singing, "We shall overcome," the government has failed us. This is part of what's wrong with you. You do too much singing. Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging. You can't sing up on freedom, but you can swing up on some freedom. Cassius Clay can sing, but singing didn't help him to become the heavyweight champion of the world. Swinging helped him become the heavyweight. So this government has failed us. The government itself has failed us. And the white liberals who have been posing as our friends have failed us. And once we see that all these other sources to which we've turned have failed, we stop turning to them and turn to ourselves. We need.
That's a good history lesson, man, because when I educated myself on Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, at that time it let me know it was two totally different stances in the North and in the South. Malcolm X was up north saying a totally different thing. He basically dissed Martin Luther King. We need to quit peacefully protesting. We need to put them we need to do the same thing they doing to us, basically. And Martin Luther King was in the South saying, we shall overcome. We're going to be peaceful. We're going to do it in a peaceful way, and we're going to stay together. But the ballot or the bullet, that's that speech. And I will also have that speech in the description too, so you can hear the whole thing. And I'm going to tell y'all what it means. A ballot is like a bullet. You don't throw your ballots until you see a target. And that target is not within your reach. Keep your ballot in your pocket. The economic philosophy of black nationalism promotes African-American control of the economy of the African-American community. You know, that's something that I wish could be done still to this day. But it's so much division within the African-American community that I don't see it ever happening. We don't even support each other. If we start making clothes, if we do anything, we selling fish sandwiches, whatever, we don't support each other, man. For some reason, we make music. I ain't buying that nigga music. That's what we will say. And I've said on multiple episodes that I think it would be more powerful for all African Americans to hold their vote back than make a vote for the lesser of two evils. I really believe that if every last person held their vote back, they would show what we getting out of it. Tell us what we getting out of it first. We've been promised 40 acres and a mule. We've been promised reparations. San Francisco last year said they was going to give all African Americans $5 million. They've been capping for so long just to get our vote. Hold our votes back. Everybody, every last person, hold your votes back. The ballot or the bullet. That speech. It'll have you thinking, man. It'll really have you thinking. The last one, y'all should know what it is. It's the most powerful one. I went to his place where he celebrated at in DC on my birthday this year, and I enjoyed it.
This is a faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning, my country, tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. And so let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring. And when this happens, when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Thank y'all for tuning in to the first episode of the Top 5 show. We'll be back soon, man. I'm going to do 10 episodes a season. Take a break, come back and give y'all 10 more episodes of the Top 5 show. Appreciate y'all, man. Peace, love, plenty of abundance. Make sure you go get you some money, and I'm out. Chill.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.
My all-time top 5 dead or alive.